Hi, my name is Labrian Archy. I am a senior at the University of Delaware. Today, my obscure but phenomenal moment in history is Gloria Richardson and the Cambridge movement. I hope you guys enjoy. Good evening. You're watching the Obscure and Phenomenal Network. Tonight we return to Cambridge, Maryland, where demonstrations have continued for several days, drawing increasing concern from local officials. City leaders report rising tensions, with arrests increasing and National Guard presence now visible throughout the area. What began as organized protest has now, according to some, shifted into something less predictable and more difficult to contain. And at the center of it all is Gloria Richardson, a local leader whose growing influence has made her both a prominent voice and a point of controversy. Supporters describe Richardson as a necessary force, someone willing to confront conditions others have ignored. But critics argue her approach is contributing to instability, with some local officials labeling the demonstrations as increasingly confrontational. There are also concerns that continued demonstrations could disrupt business activity and public safety, particularly as tensions between protesters and authorities continue to rise. And while some see leadership, others see escalation. Questions are now being raised about how far this movement is willing to go and what that may mean for the city moving forward. We now go live to our correspondent on the ground. Good afternoon. My name is Labrian Archy, reporting live with Obscure and Phenomenal News. Today we are in Cambridge, Maryland, where protests have continued for several days now. Demonstrators are calling for desegregation, improved job access, and economic equality, while our local officials have increased police presence in an effort to maintain order. The National Guard has been deployed as well, signaling just how serious the situation has become. What's different here isn't just the number of people protesting, but what they're demanding. This is not limited to public space. Many here are speaking about job stability and the ability to live without constant threat. There's also growing attention around the local leader, Gloria Richardson, whose approach has been described by some as more direct and at times more confrontational than any of the other figures in the civil rights movement. Unlike many of the national figures people are more familiar with, Richardson's approach has not been centered on appealing for change from a distance. Instead, she has remained here in Cambridge, directly involved in the organizing protests and speaking on behalf of the community. Her leadership has focused not only on desegregation, but on employment, wages, and the long-term stability of black families in this area, issues that residents say have been ignored for years. In much of the country, the civil rights movement has been defined by non-violent protests. We've seen in events like the Birmingham campaign, where demonstrators, including children, faced police dogs and fire hoses without fighting back. Richardson's position has drawn attention because she is not fully aligned with this approach. While she does not advocate for initiating violence, she has made it clear that the conditions here do not allow for passive resistance, particularly in a community where tension has been building for years. Speaking of that tension though, I believe a National Guardsman started to approach the protesters. This is a bit unprecedented, folks, so I'm not sure what's about to happen.
Put down those signs.
Did you see that? They told us these protests were violent, that these people were aggressive, insane, that they weren't advocating for anything. That wasn't anything like that. This seems wrong. Screw this. What do you mean join the protest? What? Sorry about that, folks. It looks like we've lost connection with our ground reporter. As we continue our coverage, though, it is important to understand what has been happening beyond the streets and any of the inside the negotiations that followed that moment down in the protest. As tensions escalated in Cambridge, Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy stepped in, bringing protest leaders, local officials, and white business leaders into a series of mediated meetings. These were not casual discussions, they were structured negotiations taking place under pressure, with continued demonstrations and a visible military presence outside. Gloria Richardson was present in those rooms as a central figure in the movement. She was not observing, she was negotiating. She pushed for immediate, concrete changes, not promises or delays, but action that would directly affect the conditions people were living under. Out of those negotiations came what is known now as the Cambridge Agreement. The agreement outlined several decisions. Public facilities would begin the process of integration, a Human Relations Commission would be created to address ongoing disputes, and a local leadership committed to expanding job opportunities for Black residents. But the agreement did not automatically take effect. It was put to a public vote, a referendum, allowing residents of Cambridge to decide whether these terms would be implemented or not. That vote revealed just how divided the city remained, with many white residents opposing even these limited changes. And while portions of the agreement were eventually put into place, the conditions that led to these protests, the economic limitations and lack of opportunity, they did not disappear. What the agreement did was not resolve the conflict, but force it to be recognized. For Obscure and Phenomenal News, I'm Labrian Archy, and what happens next is still being written. Good day, folks.
This is in front of the county courthouse in the center of Cambridge.
Start with a flag and come right down through the middle.
All right.